Howdy, I'm Dr. Will Wong. Well, I tried to tell folks 20 years ago that inflammation was the root cause of all disease. Tried to tell them, got boo-hooed, bahad. Some folks believed it because by then it was being seen that the markers for inflammation, the C-reactive protein and the homocysteines, were coming back high on folks with particular diseases. It was speculated back then that maybe inflammation has something to do with the formation of these chronic diseases. Tried to tell them. Most folks weren't listening. Most docs weren't listening. But now it is common knowledge. Science has discovered what they refused to believe 20 years ago. Inflammation is the root cause of most all disease. The long-term chronic stuff like the Alzheimer's, the dementia, the heart disease, the kidney disease that isn't caused by diabetes, is caused by inflammation because those organs, your lungs, your heart, your brain, have to work all the time 24/7. They get no rest. If you had a motor that worked 24/7 and you didn't have an air conditioner blowing down on it all the time, it would overheat. It would eventually burn out. Your major organs, your heart, your lungs, your brain, your kidneys to a lesser extent, don't get to rest much. What happens is, over time, from about 35 on, they begin to show low levels of inflammation, but the inflammation becomes chronic. As we learn in school, chronic inflammation, at whatever level, leads to induration, to hardening. In other words, to fibrosis and scar tissue buildup. That fibrosis and scar tissue buildup diminishes the size of the internal organ and cuts back on its function. That in turn causes the disease state. It would behoove you, before you hit your mid-40s, to start on the things that lower inflammation. Now, we hear a lot about taking a baby aspirin a day, about taking boswellia, about taking turmeric, about taking the omega oils to lower inflammation. I can tell you just plain flat out bullshit. Number one, you can't take an aspirin all the time. It'll kill your kidneys, it'll kill your liver. It'll give you bleeding intestine, it'll kill you faster than the inflammation that you're trying to fight with the aspirin. The other stuff that I mentioned has about the anti-inflammatory effect of a baby aspirin if you're lucky, if you take the crap by the tablespoon. But what has a definite, proven effect on lysing, on eating away inflammatory cytokines, the things that create inflammation, are proteolytic systemic enzymes, enzyme essence. Proteolytic enzymes taken systemically have an almost 60-year history. First in German medicine starting in 1959, then Central and Eastern European medicine, Asian medicine, and to the States in the 1990s. There are just about 200, and if you count the stuff on PubMed, there's over 200 peer-reviewed, journal-published studies to prove that orally administered proteolytic enzymes lower inflammation and do so without any of the side effects of the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories or the corticosteroid drugs. And I guarantee you, they work significantly better than anything else the natural health world is trying to pawn on you with the idea that it's going to reduce your inflammation. You can take turmeric until the cows come home. You can take boswellia. You can drown in your omega oils until you grow gynecomastia. If you take the omega oils made from grains, they've got so much estrogen in them, you'll grow breasts if you're a guy, if you eat enough of this stuff. And you won't see a significant reduction in your C-reactive protein or in your homocysteine. Take the systemic enzymes. You will not only be able to tell a difference, but your blood tests will be able to see a difference. And if you do really major blood chemistries, if you take your sed rate, fibrin and fibrinogen, adhesion molecules, if you test for all those, you'll see that they're in the wonderful area. Not the maybe area, not the definitely you're going to get sick area, but you're maybe 7 years old in your strong, healthy kid area. Your blood will have greater oxygenation. It will be flowing through your body without resistance. The blood can get as thick as ketchup when it gets filled with fibrinogen, adhesion molecules. The dead debris your body's trying to get rid of, that can't because your liver's working sluggishly. Once you correct all that using the systemic enzymes, your blood becomes the river of life instead of the river of trying to get out garbage. And that makes a significant difference. Because you fight the inflammation, you fight the fibrosis early on before it gets a chance to set in. That means that you don't get Alzheimer's at 60. You likely don't get it at 70. You likely don't get it at all, unless you've had some severe, really heavy bad knocks to the head, and a good number of them. Remember, systemic enzymes are the only safe way on God's green earth to truly lower inflammation naturally without any side effects, and they're the only thing on God's green earth that can eat away at fibrosis and scar tissue. And my Enzyme Essence is the world's most potent systemic enzyme, where other products you may have to take so many capsules, maybe up to 10 or more, sometimes up to 30 or more tablets, several times a day. Most folks do great taking 3 to 6 Enzyme Essence capsules a day. That's it. Unless an airplane falls on you, you fall off a building, or you get hit by a truck, you will never have to take more than 6 Enzyme Essence capsules, ever. The natural way of extending your lifespan, lowering inflammation, killing your fibrosis, the natural way of achieving higher levels of health. This is in the Enzyme Essence. Be well and God bless, and I'll chat with you again later.